Welcome back! Welcome to the Astropub, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul, Berserker01, Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the Astropub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. We've got Captain's Table. We got a special Captain's Table. I will be donning an appropriate attire when we get to it, but I'm not going to wear the whole heavy outfit right now. I do have my red on, though, so happy Valentine's Day. Happy Coramore. I'm waiting for everything to update. Hey, Thorn. How's the weather in Texas? It's pretty good. It's kind of warm. Let's see. It's currently 70 degrees, or about 22 degrees Celsius. I think it's right. Yeah, 22. Perfect. It's going to rain later, too. Wait for this to update. Guardian MX makes money? It can. All right, let me look at the current funding tracker. So, current funding tracker, they have made $4 million, so they have to double their amount in the next 2 weeks to be able to match the February 2025, which is the best February they've ever done. They did beat their best January, but by like a little close to $500,000. Let me look at the current sales and everything like that. Yeah, I'd rather it be cold, but it's not. All right, it's free flight. Little pink bike. Let's look at the current discounted packages, because there's usually some sort of discounted packages. Okay, so the current discounted part is the Salvager pack, which is $63.75, and then there's also an Advanced Hauler pack, which is they both have the pink paints on them, which is down from $95 to $76. Plus, it comes with armor and weapons. I'm good at 32, 0C. Yeah. I wish it was in the 60s or the lower 60s, upper 50s, but can't complain too much. What are the new skins? So you got the Mole, the MPUV, the Raft, the Zeus, the Mark II Hornet, the Moth, the Salvation, the Fortune, the SRV, the Arrow, the Cyclone, the Scorpius, the Hover Quad, the Nomad, and the Ares. Ooh, that's a pretty... I like it. There's an Avenger paint pack, which has some decent paints I haven't seen before. The Shroud paint looks cool as fuck. What's the monthly bundle? The Heartthrob? I do like that armor. It does look stupid. It's a salvage ship. I might pick it up just for the sake of having that armor. Yeah, it's the Vulture and the hard armor. Vulture paint, yeah. So the topic for today's Captain's Table is funding, and I think we will talk a little bit about the bundles. We'll talk about how funding is going so far, and we'll do the thing we've been talking about in the past, which is just like, how's the funding now? What are the goods and bads about it? And what can CIG do in the future to change their funding, that might improve chances without losing without losing without losing revenue. Thanks, Devlog. Hey, Ox, how you doing? Ox. All right, everything's good to go. We'll do some smuggling. I think CIG is missing a trick by not offering the individual pieces, like the armor set and the tool. Maybe the armor set and the paint scheme on their own, and then when you put them together, you get a slight discount. It's like the armor set for like $3 to $4, the skin for like, $15. And selling it for like $16, $17. Sell it for $18, put the armor set at $5. The problem right now is that CIG also doesn't allow us to earn any of that stuff in game, which is a mistake. They should reward players who play the game by letting them earn money. Or earn rewards like that. There. Nice. How's the frame rate in the camera? Is it okay?
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
I got nothing here. So we're going to go with the Freelancer.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Your insurance, thank you. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Seems okay? Okay. How's your experience been in Star Citizen? I've been hearing people having lots of problems recently with this latest patch. I'm gonna be honest. I did not do everything I wanted to do today, or this week, because Cyberstan was getting invaded. And I was like, Helldivers. I'm going to go into Helldivers. And the one thing that Helldivers has made me realize is that CIG is dog shit at telling stories. They're great at world building. They're great at setting the pieces up. But then they just fall on their face when it comes to telling stories. The Yort storyline with Onyx could have ended so much cooler, and it didn't. There's no, like, overarching storyline of what's going on. Yeah. And that makes it so much harder to, like, justify coming in and dealing with bugs and such. Does it mean that Squad 42 story will suck too? Probably not. Based off of what I've seen of Squadron 42, it should be fine. What I mean by CIG being dog shit at telling stories is there's dog shit at telling stories in Star Citizen.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.
You give them a linear story with cutscenes and time for character development, they do fine, from my experience with Squadron. But they're dog shit at telling stories in a sandbox.
Please visit us again.
People keep saying it's not working properly. It just does it just not work, or is it we're talking about the scrapers going only at 1/10 their speed?
I know.
Yeah, Devlog. But Fan, you're not wrong to worry about that, because CIG like is just had the chance to tell interesting stories and they failed to do so. No, it's a bug. It's scraping at 1/10 the speed. Like I have the advantage of having like heard and read the Squad 43 story. So based off of what I've experienced in the limited fashion that I have, it's not a bad story. It's not groundbreaking, it's not world-shattering, but it's pretty good. And they lean heavily into you getting to know the characters and character development as being the central plot point, with an overall sort of mystery that you have to unravel. The problem is that they don't do that in Star Citizen ever. Like there's not a single fucking person who's got decent character that we know about other than Yorit, and you only know Yorit's character if you listen to all of the audio logs. The thing is that we're talking video games. We're not talking movies or video or television shows or books. Like, I don't think that the writers are bad at building characters. I don't think they're bad at writing stories. I think the problem they're suffering from is just not being given the opportunity or the priority to do those sorts of things. Like, what we really need is a mission giver whom we can interact with on a personal basis and get to know, whom we can establish a bond with. CIG can write interesting characters. People still talk about Tessa Bannister, and none of you ever fucking saw her. Like, we just know her from a couple of lines of quirky dialogue, and people are like, I would die for this woman. Like, it's not, they know how to do it. Like, the investigation mission on Kovalex is still seen by players as one of the best stories that CIG's told. It's told entirely through audio logs. You know? They can do it. They can write interesting characters and do interesting stories. They just don't have the priority for it. You think it's an alpha and things are work in progress? That's what I'm hoping. Otherwise, it's very basic live service style exposition. Like, what I mean is, look at, because I've been playing a lot of Helldivers. If you look at Helldivers, the Helldivers story is told entirely through, effectively, a mission map and text. And what they do is to take that broader story and contextualize it with games. Like, the story's there to pad out the game, but they work hand in hand. So, like, people talk about Malevelon Creek like it was fucking Vietnam. Because it was. But it was the players who made it that. And so what the developers did was they turned it into part of the game lore. Then there were other Oshane and the Defense of Super Earth and you know, all of these different like events which were backed up by major set piece game missions. So you could play these missions and experience the events. But those events weren't localized. They were localized in the sense they had some FOMO, but those events all became regular missions in the loop later down the line. Yeah. And so, like, I don't think Star Citizen needs to go that route necessarily, but that's an example of doing a live service game and telling a story through a live service game without having to be you're the fucking champion and the superhero of the universe. So we can get one of these done. Is it done though? Yeah, it's done though. Okay. Since Siege of Orisin's coming back later, Siege of Orisin was one of those situations where it felt like a Helldivers moment. People will remember the Siege of Orisin. I feel like they could do what they did before, where they have Siege of Orisin as this event, and people can play it, and they maybe bring it back every so often, but its big thing should be that it's you take the chunks of that mission and make them their own missions. Use it as a mission seed, like a toolbox with it, so that you can create more versions of that gameplay in the same location, like they did before. They were overarching atmosphere to all players, not just we need your team to do the thing. Yeah. Hey, Minstrel. I think CIG could do that. I think CIG could benefit from that sort of thing, where you give players options, and they have to make a decision based off those options, and they have to stick to it. They tried that with the with the resource rush, but then there was no consequences. Like, CIG has to, like, understand that players are going to do things that they don't expect and they can't control. But I don't think CIG fundamentally, like, the developers really want to let go. A great example of this is paints. They don't want players to have their own paint schemes because they're afraid that players will make paints that look ugly. They're like, well, this is my baby. I don't want you to make it look ugly. And it's like, well, too bad. We paid for it. Like, let us be ugly if we want it to be ugly. Like, the misunderstanding of how players want customization and the detail that they want customization is a great example of how CIG can't let go. And with a game that Chris pitched and what they've talked about for a long time, they gotta let go. They gotta, you know, understand that players are gonna do things that they don't expect, and sometimes it won't be something they like. You know, that's not necessarily like awful, because obviously they have to shut down some of that stuff, but like, the fatal letters are inverted here. It's weird. Not used to that.
My system's showing that you've arrived. Enjoy your stay at Arson.
Yeah, exactly. CIG should set something that's impossibly hard. Like, set a challenge that they're like, I don't think the players can succeed this. Now, this is where I think maybe they just don't have the technology yet. They don't have the features and the support in there. Because I think that would, like, taking this, the fleet ops mission, you know, the one that they want to do, the like, combined fleet operations or tactical fleet operations, making that mission have some sort of lasting effect on who controls the Nyx system or, like, portions of the Nyx system. And it's like, all right, players, your job is to defend this, or to get the station and keep it under the control of the People's Alliance. Otherwise, the station will flip. Otherwise, these other stations will flip to hostile control. So you can no longer access these supply stations in the Nyx system. Like, they just are unaccessible, or when you get in there, you just get shot. So it's like just negative rep for everybody. And have a counter of, like, successes versus failures. And you have to succeed for over so many times over the course of, like, a month. You can call it the battle for Nyx, you know? Swedish gaming industry often assume the player is smart, patient, and instead of over-explaining, they let meaning emerge through systems, environments, and consequences. I have a feeling that does seem to happen a lot. The Jump Ship is the same way. They're also, I think, Swedish developers as well. Jump Space, yeah, not Jump Ship. I forgot they changed the name because of legal reasons. It's still Jump Ship to me. Do the small cargo missions give the same rep as medium and large? I have no idea. I haven't checked. I just did this because it was a chain mission I could do. because it was nearby and I could do it. And then I'm going to take this to Pyro and then pick up the missions from Pyro and come back to Stanton. Yeah, exactly. You could do a Vandal invasion as an event, and you could just trigger it randomly. You could just play the GMs and at CIG, you could just be like, fuck it, you get a Vandal invasion. Vandal invasion of Microtech, fuck you. Like, okay, and then you've got a series of missions. You got to do these. Every time you fail the mission, the failure counter ticks up. You have to have, you have to prevent the failure counter from going all the way up. In order to save Hurston. The simple way of doing that is you have space missions, and if you can stop the Vandal in space, but if you fail those missions to stop the Vandal in space, it gets to phase 2 where you have space and ground missions where you have to go and fight the Vandal on the ground, and then if you fail that, then it's phase 3 where you've got some mission in like the city that you have to go to, like portions of the city have been taken over, and you use something like the Siege of Orson sort of thing. And then if you don't do that, then you lose access to the city. Well, if players fail, then you lose access to the city. What I would do is I just park a UEE fleet on the station, around the station, and basically it's players have failed, so the UEE has to come in and save the day. So you can still get it back, but now you're punished for failing the missions. You're punished for like a patch or two, where like the UE has to come in and exterminate the Vandal. There has to be consequences. CIG is allergic to consequences for players. And what I'm saying isn't, like, I know it's not complicated, it's video game development, it's all complicated, but they could do that, something like that right now. They have the technology to do that stuff right now. They just don't and won't. Do the Vandal know how to access the Stanton system? They don't, but they could sneak in through Nyx or Pyro. Because there's a Virgil is bordering Nyx. So you could get, a Vandal fleet managed to sneak in using transient jump points into the Stanton system. I mean, the key is to develop missions for each phase. They already have phases they could do. They already have counters they can do as well. Like they have triggers they could code for that. It's just space missions. They already have space missions against the Vandal. They have space missions that exist. You just swap the enemies for Vandal. Ground missions. They have ground missions for that exist. You just need to swap out the ground enemies for Vandal. And they would need to modify the Siege of Orson missions, but they probably need to do in mission stuff anyways. People would talk about the invasion of Microtech for generations. People would come into Star Citizen in 2027 and be like, "You weren't there, man. You weren't on the fucking front. We were fighting tooth and nail to save Microtech, and we're not even the fucking military. We just throw in to help. You don't remember, man. You weren't there." You know? Yeah. I still talk about Jumptown. I did a whole documentary on it, Hello, Star Citizen Funding is back at Kickstarter? No, but they've been doing crowdfunding since the Kickstarter. That's how they make money. So the question we're going to talk about is how is it now in terms of its overall funding methods. What needs to change and what's fine? A Malevolent Creek for Star Citizen. Yeah, but I mean, Malevolent Creek was sort of an emergent situation based off of the gameplay situation. I'm talking about CIG planning out this invasion. It wouldn't require much. It would require some news broadcast to be made in advance for each phase to be played over the game system. So they already have that systems going on.
All right. You're clear to go.
Who's on the table today? Fast Cart and Nazareth. Why are the NPCs scared? So, Ian, that happens when people backspace. It's a bug when people backspace. The NPCs see the dead bodies and they freak out. So they react as if they basically the NPCs are too well coded, where they code that when they see dead bodies, if they're cowardly, they cower, and if they're like security NPCs, they actually get into serious mode to try to find whoever was the shooter. Yeah. News players are broken 99% of the time I see them. Yeah, they need to play more often. Then there'll be player who disrupt the fighting for Vandal just for the lulls. Of course there are. There were people the same thing in the battle for the invasion of the Xenothreat invasion. Had the same people. But CIG can also just do instancing. You know, if they really wanted to. Hey, Petey. No, I've seen it happen where someone backspaces and immediately everyone cowers and the security goes into full search mode. And I think the reason why CIG doesn't want to fix that problem is because it's a bug related to a feature they're going to remove with tier 1 item, the tier 1 item stuff. Okay, we go. Yeah, exactly. When you can't backspace whenever you want to, the cowering won't happen because you won't have just random bodies showing up. Again, CIG has the potential to do some really cool stuff. The problem is that the problem is that either they don't have the will to, or they don't have the ability to do those things. Being in an MMO, there will always be a need for a /kill type thing, in an admin command. But they should replace the backspace with unstuck. My game's a little choppy. I have high-end system with 5090. What settings don't need to change? Everything is high in DX11. Try not using DX11. Is there a reason why you're not using Vulkan? Also, do you have an SSD? Unstuck, raycast the surface, plus 5-meter teleport. Exactly. When I use Vulkan, I get a shadow mouse. I have SSD. Shadow mouse? What do you mean by shadow mouse? Vix, Jade is just being a troll, that's all. A light gray mouse in the background. Huh. I don't know that problem. I haven't seen that problem before, specifically with Vulkan. And it goes real choppy. Have you gone to the Star Citizen, the unofficial Star Citizen help desk on Spectrum? There's usually a fan-run help desk which has some solutions to fix this, and I've never heard of something like that. Because he's saying it's running real choppy on DX11 and it's running real choppy on Vulkan. That sounds like there's something else which is the matter. Like, it's either something to do with, like, your graphics card or graphics settings. Maybe it's your graphics driver. It could also be your CPU issue. Does it only happen with Star Citizen? There's no other games that get choppy like that? Yeah, the volunteers chat room could help. Because if you're experiencing it, other people could as well. Specifically because you have, like, a 5090. Only Star Citizen. Yeah, so I'd go to the volunteers help desk about that. Why is this only... There we go. So on Spectrum, there's a volunteers help desk chat room you can go to, and they might be able to help you out with it. There might be a workaround for it. No problem. The jump point to go. Interstellar sphincter. Yeah, Spectrum's pretty bad. The volunteer help desk though is pretty good. It's a good service that players like run. That really does help give a lot of the wisdom for the workarounds and stuff like that. Spectrum isn't all bad, but it's just usually not worth it unless you're desperate. doesn't look right. Yep. I went back. Alright, well. This is such an annoying fucking problem. Is the Moth available for free flight? Let me check. It looks like it's not the Moth, but it's the it looks like it's the Golem Ox, the Arrow, the Salvation, maybe a Cutlass Red. It looks like it could also be the Shiv and the Mole are the ones you can get. Towards them. There it is.
Landing gear up.
This is a missed opportunity for these salvage missions to be tied to mission givers like Cousin Crow's. Like, hey, apparently there's a bunch of rare racing components in this salvage claim. Get them back to me and I'll reward you. Yeah, there is a lot of missed opportunities for mission givers, and again, it's character building. Siege just doesn't really have character building. They've had Wicklow and they've wasted Wicklow on just bullshit. To the point where Wicklow is now a hated character, even though he hasn't done anything, because the bugs have made him shitty. Yes, space trucking. Totally. Yeah, it is weird. He should be able to give you a banded defender. That should be one of the rewards. I thought he did give Banu knives at one point. Yes, finally. Oh. Patch City. Is there really a place in Stanton called Broken Patch? CIG. That's not funny, that's insulting. No, I agree. That like he should be a bespoke guy or give you blueprints. Is there any lore around why Terminus is so creepy, dead place? Yeah, it's Terminus. Let's look at the map. So if we look at where the system is, look at Terminus. It's the furthest planet in the star system. It's very cold. It's the very outer edge. So it's technically habitable, but it's so cold and so on the edge of habitable that you die slowly from that. Jaded, that's the problem though. Is like people do that. People will identify like events or characters with bugs. For the longest time, people would just stop playing the game when Free Flight happened because they're like, Free Flight brings more bugs and more frustrations. The game plays worse on Free Flight, so I'm just not going to play when there's a Free Flight. But the problem was that CIG's Free Flights usually corresponded with big events, which were big sales. So CIG had to fundamentally change their outlook and had to cancel a Free Flight to convince players they're interested in helping improve the gameplay. It didn't matter that Free Flight had been getting better, like patch to patch, before they canceled it. What mattered was that they canceled it to prove that they were going to focus on stability. And it worked. People now don't perceive the game as being unstable just because it's a Free Flight. There are still folks who say, yeah, I'm not going to play during Free Flight, but Yeah, servers are running pretty fine now. Hey, Calvin. I think the major issue is that when a new patch drops, it's always unstable when the new patch drops. Yeah, people are stupid. But CIG needs to stop pretending that, like, has to stop pretending that, like, people will... I need to put this. CIG needs to start treating the game like a game rather than a sandbox for alpha. Yeah, true. There is usually a higher number of cheaters for free flight because hack developers will develop their cheats and their mods and then test them during free flight with a free account. This is a game? Holy shit, I missed that. I think, and again, I think CIG's in the process of doing this. It's just a matter of, I've been doing this for a decade. Many of us have been here longer. And it's getting to the point where it's like, just get this fucking done. What is taking so goddamn long? It wouldn't be so bad if they didn't already do things like events multiple times in the past, like going as far back as like 2018, 2019 doing events. So they've been doing them for almost a decade now, but each event has been different, and it's like they've been experimenting with how to do them. It's like, just pick a way and do it. You can always change it later, but you know, develop a method. Everything's been an experiment. Nothing's been like decided upon until recently. Is the YouTube one not working? No, YouTube is working.
An available space has been located.
I think CIG should force players to buy maps. I think they should have basic understanding of locations. Like every player should start off with like the map, like well mapped areas like Stanton. But like you shouldn't know what Grimhex is unless you know where Grimhex is, or someone shows you, or you put it on a map. Yeah, it is the worst.
Arrival complete. Welcome.
I think it's run better. It's fine. The issue I had with it is that I don't like the fact that it's just sort of like everyone gets together in big groups and does it. I feel like there should be more challenge to it, and like it should take you more than a day to get something like this done. But if you're in a big group, it takes like no time because everyone just shares the missions and just does them. I mean, they have the tech for things like journal entries and stuff like that. They just need to change the journal. The journal is still very basic. There needs to be like people need to actually do the missions together. Yeah, I'd rather be exploitable like that than forced to grind solo like the resource drive. The problem with the resource drive was that you could do all of the different planets. That was, in my opinion, cowardly and shit. You should have been forced to choose a fucking corporation and work for them. And then you can get rewards from them, but you couldn't do the other corporations. Hey, Dog Demon, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you again. All right. So 2 from Golden Riviera, and then Devlin's Scrap and Salvage. Where's Devlin? Devlin's in Stanton, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So we're gonna go to Golden Riviera next. That's fine. But then you grinding all three for 3 accounts for those rewards would have been a choice. Life's been well, lifing hard, but managing hang in there. It's all we can do sometimes, man. That is all we can do.
Thank you for visiting. Safe travels.
I have no problem with sharing progress, your opinion as well. Like I think the best way of doing this current event would be if you're in a group of people, you all get 600 rep or whatever for 600 points per mission complete, but you had to be there when the mission completed in order to get that reputation. So that way people will be like, oh, well, if we work together on one cargo ship, we could load and unload an entire cargo ship in like minutes and then do this turnaround real quickly, and then we could all start getting like 600 per run really quick. The reason why Hurston was in such a big lead was because Hurston, the CIG told us what the skins were going to be before they actually finished them. B, Hurston worked, and most of the other ones didn't work because they had limited numbers of stations, whereas Hurston had an abundance of locations to do their missions. Foxhole makes me realize how bad cooperative play is in Star Citizen. I have no idea how CIG will fix it. It comes down to culture. CIG needs to instill a culture of players playing together is better than playing apart, and that also requires the meta to be get into a big ship and kick the shit out of everybody else. But also force people in a big ship to have other players to do that. And I know CIG's hemmed and hawed about, like, well, maybe we could do, you know, maybe we could do, like different weapon ammo types, that kind of stuff. And it's like, CIG, you don't understand. People will min-max the shit out of solo polos and solo interests. I also do think, yeah, sandboxes will help tremendously. Having crafting and base building and crafting's going to be a face grind. Like I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Up, down, down, left, right. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's you're gonna have to grind with crafting. You're gonna have to go out and find the better materials. You're gonna have to like make a bunch of them to sell them. You're gonna have like there's going to be an aspect of just that's what you do constantly to improve your abilities. I don't think that's the case, Robert. I think people do play in groups still. The problem that CIG has is it doesn't have a good random party finder. Yeah, like, I am a very simple man. My solution to the problem of multi-crew ships is break the fucking turrets. The turrets should be practically auto-aim, and they should have twice the range of the same size weapons on small ships. And it feels like, well, that doesn't make any sense. It's a video game. It doesn't have to make fucking sense. You can invent whatever the fuck you want because this is science fiction. God, my life for lamp on this fucking thing. Exactly. More shots, longer range, faster. Faster, or like higher velocity. Basically, faster rounds.
Landing gear down.
I didn't see that little icon before. It's neat. High velocity ammo would be the meta. Yeah, and if you make all capital ships or large ships have high velocity and ammo buffs, so they travel faster, then yeah, you would 100%. God, my frames suck at this place. Then people would go, okay, cool. I need to be in this larger ship because I can kill things faster and not die as much. CIG did that once. They just broke turrets, so they basically had auto aim, and it was like, great. Now turrets are useful. And if CIG doesn't want to buff because I know they had a problem with like latency issues with velocity, because high velocity means that it's more to track, and that caused some issues, which caused more problems with the servers. Cool. Then nerf the fuck out of the velocity of all the weapons, except for when they're on multi-crew ships. Yeah, just make ships worse, except for multi-crew ships, which are better. Like, it's not rocket science. And I know that CIG wants to have some more nuance to this and that kind of thing, but you can change it later. It's alpha. Who gives a fuck? You know, until you have a solution that's better than make multi-crew ships broken, then just make multi-crew ships broken so people can play with the multi-crew ships, so you can get an idea of what people want to do. It's not crazy, I don't think. It actually is sort of rocket science, isn't it? No, because it has nothing to do with reality. Yeah, and honestly, if sci-fi means you can figure out where the fun is, and then I assure you, then you can lure up a reason why it makes sense. If you can't, hire a better writer. Exactly. Yeah, freelancer should be two-person. There are definitely some ships that have too many crew members that they could simplify, and they've already started doing that. The Reclaimer doesn't need nearly as many people as it has seats for, because it was built at a time when they didn't really know what they were doing. Most newer ships are better at that sort of economy than others. Like the Idris is built for squadron, so it has crew seats because it's got crew seats for telling the story. But you can simplify that in the game. Add in the armor thresholds for larger ships and remove weapons for multi-crew pilots. And I think we'll start seeing a change. Yeah. Yeah, but if the Reclaimer, but if the Reclaimer, the cap ship needs less crew than the Moth, the Reclaimer has its own refinery, built-in refinery, or at least it's supposed to, or it should. It's the equivalent of the Orion. Because it had like a mulching section for it. If they revise it with a refinery, once they have refinery gameplay, then you have more crew members. It's 2 crew members for the stripper, and then the main stripper slash mulcher, and then you have somebody who has to do the refinery stuff. So the way that it's supposed to go is that rubble gives you low yield, but it gives you the high. It takes the least amount of time for it to refine. Then the materials, the ones that the Moth can do, that is going to give you a balanced yield to time, and then the largest ones that the Reclaimer can do will give you more yield but take longer. No, YouTube's up. Then I don't know. I'm not an expert when it comes to like the industry stuff. I just assume that it goes cheap, low, but you don't have a lot of yield, but you it takes you less time, medium balance, and then high yield, but long time. Then it's a bug, or CIG's fucked up something. A group of scientists tried to splice cheetah DNA with crab DNA. Things went sideways real fast. I like it. I like it. Rubble is a high density, low yield, and salvage is low density, high yield. So you get more stuff out from fewer chunks. So you're saying that the crew size is too high for the Reclaimer? You think it should require less than 5 people? No. Capital ships and capital class ships are designed to be used by groups of like 10 people. I love your videos. I can't wait for a video about the messers. I plan on doing one. I've been toying with the idea of doing the messer video, or waiting until I do the complete history, because I'm going to cover all of their stories in the complete history. But I feel like it's going to get mixed in with so many other things that are going on in that at the time that since they won't be the real focus, it might lose some stuff.
Oh, right, that's not fixed. Hold on. I'm gonna go black for a moment. Hold on. Don't take this the wrong way.
You seen behind the mask of what's going on? Did I break it? No, it's been broken. I just didn't go back and fix it. The old link broke, so I had to like re-update the source because it was pulling from a source that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, there's no music because the alert ended. Hey, Muad'Dib. Thank you, Sli-Fi, for that. Tier 3 for 82 months. You're insane, my brother. But Eric, thank you so much for watching the lore videos. I do intend on doing one because I actually have this Monday off from work as well, so I will rip myself away from Super Earth's call for aid and actually do the lore video on. It's my update to the complete guide, the beginner's guide to Star Citizen lore. I figured it's a good time to get that done and release it soon because of like free flight and stuff like that. Hey, Twisted.
Take away my spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No pews.
But you can never,
ever
take away my space game.
Twisted Void just resubscribed for 2 months.
Thank you so much for that 2 months of support. You're very important, pupper, very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. This is your father from drinking night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. You heard that music, right? How you doing, Twisted Void? Thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. Oh, we got a level 2 community hype train going on. But that's a good point there, Eric. I think I'm gonna do. There's a couple of different videos I wanted to do, and I think I'll do the measures next. I'll do a measures video because that will be an easy one for me to do, and then bank in the. Oh, gotta go get some more fuel. Bezos Bucks. That's one that I can do for the Patreon. Like, I plan on... that's one of those that I know won't do well outside of the hardcore fans. So if I do it and I upload it to the Patreon for, like, a couple of weeks to a month beforehand and then do another video for the wider audience, then I can release that in, like, a month from now or a little bit later. Because I want to start doing that, building up these sorts of videos that I know will not do well with the YouTube algorithm.
Vehicle storage request approved. Storage space assigned.
Is this a pad? This is a pad.
Active vehicle.
Landing gear down.
No, it's not a pad. It's a legitimate. Where are the pads? Is the pad over here? Yeah, it's the pad. Also, I am tired of getting a late start on the Alliance 8 event and did that all day today. Did you finish it? Great. Yeah, I managed to get it done in like 3 days. But I was also working with my org, so. Yeah, when you're working with groups, it takes pretty. It doesn't take a lot of time. Hey, Captain Shakira, how you doing?
Quantum fuel at 100%.
I'm done as well, but I keep on doing it to help other fellow org members who haven't done it. Yeah, I'll probably do some of that myself, but I also...
Assigned storage space has been revoked.
I also kind of want to do, get back to my smuggling roots, so... The Dead Saints. Let's see my rep for the Dead Saints right now. I'm a junior. I want to try to get to as high as possible. The Dead Saints are a, my guess is an intro smuggling mission, specifically with the Syndicate stuff. Astro Pub! How you doing, Coders? How you doing, buddy? Good, good, that's good. Yeah, the problem I have is I have all these ideas for doing lore videos, and I'm at the stage where, like, I know they'll do good if I release them, but I have too many ideas. Like, I want to go back and do a lore video on Castak, but what I really want to do is I want to do a Castak. If I do a Castak lore video or any kind of weapons or armor video, I want to do it as a collab with an actual, like, meta sort of Star Citizen YouTuber. So, like, somebody who covers, like, weapons and armor and, like, all of those sorts of details. I want to sit down with one of those folks to do it, so I can do, like, the lore, and I can talk a little bit about the weapons, and then they can talk about, like, the actual statistics and stuff like that. Fried Chicken does good gun reviews in Star Citizen. Are they a YouTuber or they just do Twitch stuff? I'll have to look them up. I want to do more collaborations with the Astro Historian, for sure. Hey, Luna. It's Nazareth and Fast Cart. Devlin.
Landing gear out.
Do. I'll join the Discord real quick.
Quantum fuel at 75%.
I do want to do more work with Farrister. What I want to start doing is I want to do a lore video about ships, about a ship, and then I want to work with Farrister, because I like Farrister and I've worked with him before, and have him do a discussion about those ships. Because I would dig that. Like, talk about the background, get to the point where it's released, and then, you know, just take a step back and say, I'm gonna turn it over to this person to have their thoughts and their opinions, that they'll like have like a quick review of the ship, what they like, what they dislike about it, that kind of thing. And my goal is to just do the video up to that point, have that blank, finish and have it finished, send that unfinished part, that kind of part with a blank in the middle, for them to look, to watch, and then for them to fill in the gaps with what their own opinions are. And I've worked with Dig that before. I do want to do that. Hey, Agbard. Yeah, both knowledgeable and great voices. Good plans indeed. Can't wait for the Asperia full lore one. Keep the excellent work. Thank you, Steven. That's what I do want to do as well. I'll probably release that for Alien Week to talk about the Tavaran ships, not just the Asperia, but like the Talon, the Talon, the Shrike, and the Prowler. Because like the Prowler Ute is based off of vehicle transporters and logistics transporters, like a version of the Prowler that was a vehicle slash logistics transport, which always makes me go, wait, that was a vehicle transporter? What type of vehicles did the Tavaran have? I imagine because of the Tavaran battle doctrine, probably scout vehicles, though we do know that the Tavaran did have hover tanks. Yeah, the Prowler has Gravlev? Yeah, CIG didn't know that it's supposed to have Gravlev, even though it was originally sold with it. It is bolted onto the fucking ship. If you look at the bottom of the ship, there are Gravlev panels. And just CIG forgot that they promised that it was part of it. Crucible Motor says what? Yeah. I mean, I legitimately still need to go buy a Ute because the Prowler utility is amazing. It is one of the coolest, best ships in the game for group gameplay or for any sort of transport gameplay. It still holds a lot of cargo for its size, and it's basically invisible. You have to be on top of it to see it. Plus, it also carries people, so you can carry other people with you, too. It's so good. The Prowler utility. I just call it the Prowler Ute because it's fun to say. Well, anyone who calls the Prowler utility useless has never used it. Because the thing is, Ghost, is that you and I both respect stealth. We recognize that while the stealth isn't perfect, stealth is in the game, and it will save your fucking ass if you're smart about it. The fact that it also has a built-in like tractor beam makes it even better. So you can literally hover over a location. You don't even have to land and grab things off the ground and pull out. It's so great. I mean, offline, I'll definitely be playing it tonight. I might hop onto Discord and play it. But I'm also going to be playing. Well, no, it's Valentine's Day. I got other things to do. tomorrow probably. And I'll probably be playing a little bit on Monday. But I might actually play on Thursday just to stream.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never,
Never.
ever
Ever.
take away my space game.
Yes, I know it's partially see-through. That's the point.
Womblissimo just resubscribed for 33 months. 07 all y'all.
Well, let me try this real quickly. Oh god, that's even worse. Hold on. You know what? I'm keeping it like this. You can see through me. We'll do this. One of these days, I'll actually do some stuff. Actually go through and fix things. Thank you, Womblissimo, for that 33 months, by the way. You're very important, Papa, very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. You rock. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Your favorite is the Glaive, but I can't afford that one. Yeah. Servers are being extra shitty today. In what way, Buttress? I haven't really dealt with other players or NPCs right now, so maybe I'm just lucky in that sense. Oh, vanishing cargo being turned in for the event.
Landing gear up.
Yeah, yeah. But it takes the ice. Yeah, that's been a problem since the beginning of the event. Misk is based out of Saisei. I don't have enough fuel for that. Go there, get the fuel, get out. Hey Paul, you get to found a ship manufacturer. What's your first ship you make? All right, so I don't know the name of this, but I know it's popular in a lot of Asian countries. Well, I am very transparent. Hold on. I didn't realize that was going to change everything. The hell? Something's off here. Cause like if I do, it's like either like all green or nothing. What's going on? Oh, that's why. So, what are those tiny little mini pickup trucks you see in like Asian countries? The key trucks, the Kai trucks, those trucks. I would make the Star Citizen version of that. K trucks is what they're called? Okay, yeah. Basically, take the mule that could fly. And I also give it a tractor beam. So it has like a quantum a quantum drive. It's got a tractor beam. I think this is the right one. Yeah. Peg a donkey. There is just the random. It's gonna have some pads on it, doesn't it? These pads? Oh no, those are docking collars. I'll find them, Chad. Don't worry. Once I find them, I will know where they are forever. But I gotta find them. Maybe they're over here? Probably over here. Hello, random starfarer? He's landing. Maybe they're down here? I mean, I can land and rearm and refuel. I just want to see if there was actual pads. It doesn't look like they have any pads on this station. Like, I don't see anything that's resembling a pad. So that's at the very end. Docking collars. Oh, you mean the Drake Brutus? That should just be made by Drake, though. They should make that and just make it by
Please
Drake.
proceed to assigned landing bay.
Landing gear down. Landing gear up. Landing gear down.
The Drake Brutus. So, back in the day, there was this competition called the Next Great Starship. It's when CIG tried to do a reality TV show with Star Citizen fans. In reality, it was just a giant contest to get players who had skills to make ships to hire them, because it was trying to get people who knew what they were doing. It was a giant hiring competition that was masquerading as a reality TV show. So different teams entered to get their ship made, and the ship that won was the Redeemer. So the Redeemer comes from this fan-made competition. The technically third, but should have been second place ship was a ship made by a group called Team Shimmy Pan, who produced the Drake Brutus. I'll pull it up.
Hey, Cap- Hey, Captain.
Pull it back to the beginning. This is the Drake Brutus. It's a gunship. This was early Drake. This is back when the old Cutlass was still around. Like, if you were to make this today, you would make that a remote turret rather than a piloted turret at the top. You would make that an elevator instead of a ramp. Wear a suit. Those are chairs that turn into beds. Hey, Dash. So if this was to be done today, you might take out a few of the chairs here so you can put more components in, but I think you would be fine as it is. And make this area a cargo bay that also doubles as you probably make the chairs more chair-like, more like the drop-down chairs that we see in other things. You remove the secondary turret and make that a remote turret, and you put all the components in this area right here. You remove the beds, and then you've got the co-pilot and the pilot. Oh yeah, no, this was early Star Citizen. Dem Frames was right. Those windows would be great. What are you talking about? Be able to see all of your MFDs. Some slight tweaking. Those two could be the remote turrets, so you could have the top and bottom turrets be remote. Basically, turn it into a paladin with cargo capacity and crew capacity. So this was done for a contest, but if you take a look at it and you take a look at the see, that's the old Cutlass. You take a look at the Buccaneer. The Buccaneer and this share the same DNA. This came out after the Buccaneer came out. That's the, yeah, it's the greased up pig cutlass.
You are clear to launch.
You guys can do this real quick. Finish this off and then we'll be done. Yeah, it's good to go.
Landing gear up.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Later, Jakiro. After the Hammerhead, what do you all think will be the next Gold Pass ship? Connie. Almost certainly the Connie. I think the Connie is going to get a Mark II variant. It's not built for the game that we have. I hope they keep the same stuff and maybe they take the base of what they've learned from the Hermes and the Apollo and use that to build a two-decked Connie, but we'll see. Yeah, if you remove the seats to be just make them normal jump seats rather than like the whole like sleepy seats, then add the like a small cargo bay in the center with like remote turrets in the back, plus the middle section is where you get all your components. Removing like the like maybe only do 4 seats. Four like jump seats that you can, not jump seats, but like actual like harnessed seats, and then add like suit lockers, add weapon racks, and then add so I guess you still have the 2 beds for one side, but then you add like remote turrets, you add the pilot and the co-pilot, and I think it'd do really well. That's a democratic way of saying it's shit. I don't think the Connie is shit. I think it's very usable. People still use the Connie very effectively. It's not a bad ship. It's just its interior is designed like ass. And because its interior is designed like ass, it could really use another pass of the interior, which would probably require it to get some interiors, to get some rework stuff there. Omega likes to talk about a 2-deck Connie. I think a 2-deck Connie would do really well. Where you have the top deck is your command deck, your sleeping deck, your component, and maybe not even components, like your just regular to day-to-day stuff, and the bottom deck is components and cargo bay. And that's the Argomoth. It's the laziest ship, but it's fine. It's It's the compromise you get when you want ships that fill a role and you want them fast. Hey, Jason, how you doing? What Connie needs to be able to do is it needs to be able to hold vehicles. It needs to be able to hold passengers. It needs to be able to carry personal equipment. It needs to be able to carry cargo. It needs to be able to have good engineering gameplay. And it needs to have a fuck ton of guns and missiles. It needs to be this big, really good jack of all trades ship, like the good, like large ship that everyone uses, that is still small enough that it's not overwhelmingly large, but can still do so much. Like the Connie, as a ship, it's got 6 guns or five guns that are pilot controlled. It has 2 turrets, which are size 3s. It has like 64 missiles. Its size is fairly good for what it can do. It can hold a vehicle like an Ursa in its cargo bay, and because of the nature of how it's built, it's got a lot of headroom, so you can like store a lot of stuff vertically. 4 size 5s, yeah. Oh, I know what you do. You take the back, so you make it a 2-deck, and the back of the top deck is just a Merlin bay. So you just land the Merlin in the bay rather than having its own little cradle. So you still have a Merlin bay, but you can also swap that out for other ships of its size. The Ursa was designed to fit in a Constellation hangar. That's literally what the Ursa was designed to do. Land-answer K cars and trucks are like small Japanese vehicles. I was behind because I was paused and went AFK. So yeah. Like I figured you might know actually what the answer is. But yeah, someone asked if I would to make a ship in Star Citizen, a new ship manufacturer, and I was in charge of it. What ship would I make? And I'd make a K car, a line of K cars with quantum drives. Maybe not jump drives, but quantum drives. So a ship that's got a quantum drive that can haul a 16 SCU cargo container, that is soloable, that has its own tractor beam, but it's not very long range. But it's small enough that it can fit into like a lot of the, like you could fly it into a Hercules. Put it about a little bit bigger than like the tank, you know. People joked about like, oh, so you want the you want the mule that flies. It's like, yeah, that's what I want. I want the mule that flies. Because K trucks are so fucking useful. You can shit on them all you want. They're incredibly useful vehicles because they're small enough to fit pretty much anywhere. You can throw pretty much anything on the back and they do okay. You're not gonna, be rolling in. You're not gonna be like a long haul trucking with the things. It's not designed to be long haul trucking. They're designed just to be useful for their purpose. Yeah, that's what I said. And a tractor beam to lift the crate. Well, I mean, that's kind of what you just described, Flying Buttress, is the Golem Ox. Where's my shields? It's fine. It's fine for what it does.
Loud and complete. No business to say.
First of all, H. Oh wait, I can do this. God, the new inventory is so much better. Oh my god. The new inventory. Oh my fucking god. I just, having come back to this. Hello. I really hope that the inventory comes out as well. Welcome everybody from Spooner Stream. My name is Paul Berserker01 Batman Shell, your humble host, and space bartender here at the Astropub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. How y'all doing? Every Star Citizen streamer I watch is saying the same thing. They hate going back to the current inventory. It's so much easier. The new inventory that they're building is so much more intuitive. It's the same inventory. It's just not as shit. How you doing, Spooner? Oh, a real Star Citizen stream. Spooner plays the game more than I do. I don't know what you're talking about. There's so many people think I don't play the game. It's like, no, I play the game, y'all. Oh god, my inventory's gone now. Alright, well. It's good enough for now. Has there been any other ships in the community as designed? Nope, it's just the Redeemer. What we have to do, Spooner? Ooh. He did a giveaway of his throbbing armor. The pulsating heart. Hey, dude. Hopefully having a great time stream. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm hoping 4.7 gets all the stuff we want it to have. I'm still skeptical on crafting. Man, if they get crafting out with 4.7, though. Woo! We'll know soon. We'll probably know not next week, but the week after next. That armor is so stupid, I love it. That's all I'm gonna say. I fucking hate that armor, but I love it. It's all fun and games till your inventory disappeared in the middle of a CZ. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Oh no, it's probably going to arrive at the end of March, for sure. The issue is more, the patch always pushes, so it's going to come out at the end of March, no matter what. Even if it's not ready to come out at the end of March. I'm going to have to move this again. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just, inspired by the was it the President of the United States of America who did that? For those of you who don't know, the Danger High Voltage is, I think it's just called High Voltage. My cam froze? Of course it did. Give me a moment. Okay, let me deactivate it first. I've been having this problem with this recently. This is fine. Yeah, it's overheating. Let me try something else. I'm gonna do something dangerous, chat. I have a replacement that may or may not work. And I'm gonna try to use the replacement on stream. No, chat, it's not frozen. I'm just really good at ventriloquism, and I'm very, very still. A fan that pointing at the camera might help, yes. But it's also just an old stick. Let me try something. Oh. The camera shut down. That's what happened. I think it is my camera, honestly. That's really weird. It's hard crash. I'm gonna have to shut down the stream and start it up again. So those of you watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna end this and just go to the YouTube on the Captain's Table podcast. I'll be right back, chat.